In this video, I'd like to talk about why you probably keep failing self-improvement, and also why I keep failing self-improvement. And I think I've finally come to that realization. See, self-improvement is not supposed to be a hobby. It's not supposed to be a checklist that you just get through. It's not supposed to be something that you do for a little bit and then put back down. Self-improvement is supposed to be a lifestyle, and we all know this, but at the same time, whenever we try to do that, we always fall back into our old ways, myself included. I say it almost every single video, and I didn't understand why. Why do I have this desire to change? Why do I have this desire to not be like the average person and be better? But I keep letting the version of myself I don't like take control and gets me off of my path. And I think I came to the realization, and hopefully this will help you understand why you also keep failing and making progress. When we're doing self-improvement activities, in the very beginning, it's difficult because it's brand new and it's work, but it gets slightly easier over time, the more you do it. But then you'll reach this limit, you'll reach this wall, and I personally call it the point of no return. What that means is once you hit this wall, you feel like now doing these self-improvement activities is, number one, they're not really helping. Number two, they feel very redundant and mundane, and number three, you kind of forget why you're even doing it and if it's even worth it. And the reason why is because we're not doing self-improvement correctly. See, we do these things because we feel like we have to do them, and if we don't do it today, we'll feel super guilty. And I feel like that all the time. When I don't get all of my stuff done I plan to do, I always feel kind of like a loser, and I should have been better. And of course there's a balance you need to have. You need to have this balance of, we're not perfect, we can't get everything done every single day. But at the same time, of course, you know that if you have the energy to do it, you have the time to do it, you should probably do it instead of being lazy, you know what I mean? We are creatures of comfort. I think I've seen some people say, do humans go after things that challenge them? I don't really believe that's true, because that's something you have to adapt over time. In the very beginning, most people don't really like to challenge themselves. They're just kind of used to what they know. You have to push yourself past this comfort in order to challenge yourself, obviously. And when we're doing these self-improvement activities, we're not, focused or invested. And that is the reason. When we're reading, let's say you want to read 10 pages of a book today. When you're reading these pages of books, are you really paying attention to what you're reading? How many times have you forgot what you just read and you went back to read the same exact thing, and you really feel like you didn't get anything from that? Any of the passages you read, you didn't feel like you learned something or you improved your focus in any way. And I'm talking about myself as well. There's so many times where I've simply quit reading certain books because I just couldn't focus, and I've reread it 15 times. The thing is, when we're doing these activities, the whole point is you're supposed to focus on that one activity and live in the moment when you're doing it. So when you're reading, it doesn't matter how fast you read. It's not a competition. It matters, are you consuming the material in the way it's meant to be consumed, and are you learning anything from it? If you're reading a book on self-improvement, let's say the book is about, just like mental health habits or something. When you're reading it, you're probably not really retaining the information. You've read the book and you might feel like you're doing something because you're reading self-improvement books. But what have you actually learned from what you read? Did you actually think about it and digest what it said before you moved on to the next sentence? And this can be applied to every other self-improvement activity. When you're at the gym, are you really focusing on your workout, or are you just vaguely half doing it? When you're lifting a dumbbell, are you actually focusing on controlling the negative, which is basically when it comes down? Are you focusing on the actual feeling of you getting that pump in your muscle? When you're doing cardio, are you actually focusing on how the cardio makes you feel? Or are you just thinking about something else? And are you doing it with intent? Let's say today is chest day, for example, at the gym. When you're doing these chest exercises, are you really, really focusing on the form and how it feels when you do the exercise? Are you actually focusing on the muscle, focusing 100% on if you're doing it correctly and the intention of your form and the reps and everything? Or are you just kind of pushing the weights and you're kind of just like, I don't know, just thinking about something else and not really paying attention? That can actually affect your progress in the gym, even if you don't really understand that. And this can also be applied to journaling. For me, I've recently changed how I journal, how I study, and I'll make another video on this because this is also important. But when I was journaling, the problem is I reached this point where I wasn't really talking about anything in my journal. I was basically just filling the lines because I knew I needed to do it that day. And the same thing with reading, whatever book I'm reading, I wouldn't really retain anything I'm reading or like pay attention. I kind of just, oh, I gotta read for 20 minutes, so here we go, I'm just gonna read. And this is why we don't see progress. And not only do we not see progress, this is why we fail on self-improvement, and then we constantly go back to our old ways. Because instead of self-improvement being a lifestyle and something we're supposed to enjoy as time goes on, we're now making it a chore. And it's now became overwhelming, and now it's became this thing that's just another burden in your life. And this is not the way to go. This is the whole opposite of self-improvement. You need to ask yourself, why are you doing this activity? Why did you start it? What are you hoping it leads to? And this is also a topic for a future video about a self-evaluation. And I did this actually recently. I did this last week or the week before. I made a document where I put down every single activity that I'm trying to do, reading, working out, studying, everything. And then the next category was, do I actually enjoy the activity or do I not? And I would put yes sometimes or no. And then next category would be, why am I doing it, basically? And then the final category basically is like what I plan to do to make it easier. And I know I just explained it, but I'm going to go into deeper detail in another video and actually show it on screen. But you have to do these things because part of self-improvement is not just the active task you do. It's not just you reading something, like you being active doing it. Self-improvement is everything. Self-improvement is controlling emotion. Self-improvement is observation. Self-improvement is inner work and understanding yourself. So there's passive self-improvement. You don't have to always be doing an activity to improve. And we never think about this. We could have had a productive day where for 4 hours, basically we're getting everything done, and you may have even actually retained what you did. However, when you're done doing those things, you go right back to letting your emotions control you. You go back to getting angry and go back to getting depressed, and you just feel like you're taking a step back. And this is speaking from experience. Just recently, I felt like I was going back to my old ways where I was angry all the time. I used to be a very angry person. I put in a lot of work to control that. However, before I changed my routine and changed my workload, I just felt like all my self-improvement stuff, it's not even self-improvement anymore. It's just like basically doing another job, except I'm not getting paid for it. And I had to change my perspective. I had to do that evaluation I told you about. So I think when it comes to self-improvement, if it's getting too much for you, don't quit. Instead, just reduce your workload like I did. Instead of doing 20 minutes of reading, read 10 pages, just for now. Reduce it for now until you get back on track and you become consistent, and then slowly do more. And this is what I've done. And that's what's helped me, basically. Sometimes you don't realize, but your ego and pride is getting in the way. You feel like you're doing all of this stuff, but you're not getting the progress you deserve. But who's to say you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing correctly? Like I said, if you're reading every single day for 3 months, but you didn't retain any of the information, you're not actually paying attention, you didn't improve at all. It's basically you did nothing, and you wasted time. So this is a realization I came to, and hopefully everything I've said will help you all too. Furthermore, this is off topic because I'm finished with what I had to say, but I plan on rebranding my channel. And what that means is, instead of giving general advice, I'm going to be focusing on specific problems. And you can comment anything that you want me to make a video about, questions that you have, and I'll try to experiment something that you want me to experiment, because that's what I do. I try new stuff all the time because I constantly fail all the time. And we always look at failure as a bad thing. How can you learn something if you didn't fail? And I finally understand why I was failing self-improvement. It's because I've been doing it wrong. Now that I understand this, and now that hopefully you understand this, let's try to get back on track. For right now, don't worry about how much you do. Worry about the quality of what you're doing. And when you become consistent, just slowly add more and more. That's the end of this video. Like I said, comment anything that you want to hear me specifically talk about. Maybe there's something you want me to try. Try these 3 tips that you've heard. You want me to try these 3 tips that you've seen online or seen other people do, and you want to know if it works. I will literally do it, and then I will give you my answer about it, because I don't lie on here. I say everything, even if it's hard to talk about, because that's the whole point of this channel, is to be relatable on self-improvement, not act like I got it all together. Just because somebody online seems that they have everything together, you don't know what goes on behind the camera, right? So anyways, that's the end of this video. If you liked it, please like it, share, and subscribe, and hope you guys have a good day.